Hi, this is Angel Jones. I love great conversations where life's journey is communicated not only through words but tones and emotions. Explosive expressions that allow you to feel what they felt and learned. A fool learns only from his own mistake, while the wise learn from their own and from those others have made. Thanks for being here with us. Stephen McEvoy. In the last 3 years, Stephen has become a certified yoga teacher, something he never expected. He teaches 5 classes a week and has read a few hundred books and written reviews on many of them. So, good morning, Stephen. How are you today?
I'm very good. And yourself?
I am excellent. We get straight into it. I would like to know, what talent do you have that you believe is responsible for you being on this podcast today?
I would say that my being a bibliophile or a book addict is responsible for my being on your podcast today.
Who did you? Yeah, you could go ahead. Stretch it out.
Okay. I was introduced to you through Mikhail Stawisky, and I was discovered Mikhail last year. One of his books ended up in my recommended reads, and I didn't know who he was. I hadn't encountered him, and I've since read 9 of his books, a couple of them more than once. And so it is my addiction to reading that has ended up with leading me to being on your podcast.
Interesting. And who did you learn this skill or ability or behavior from?
In part, it was modeled by my father. My father is an avid reader, even now reading more than 50 novels a year. As a child, I cannot remember him ever not carrying a book around the house, but also in part because of special training. I have a dual form of dyslexia. I can spell words out loud correct and write them on paper wrong, and I can spell words out loud correct a second time and not register the error on the paper. And I came out of grade 7 reading at a grade 3 level, and I went into grade 8 reading at a university level because my parents sacrificed and sent me to a private summer school where 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, I was taught to read and to comprehend and maintain what I read.
Interesting. Why will you continue repeating this?
When I learned to read in grade 7, it was like this whole world that I never knew existed. Up until then, for book reports in school, I usually found the movie or talked to someone else about the book and wrote everything secondhand. And when I discovered this world, it was fascinating. The places you could go, the people you could see, the history, science fiction, the future, and books just became one of my biggest addictions then and now.
So is reading one of the things you've done consistently over the past 3 years, or is there something else you've done consistently over the past 3 years?
Reading is something I've done consistently over the last 30 years. I average over 100 books a year. But the other thing that I've done consistently over the last 3 years that has really changed my life is practice yoga and now teaching yoga as well.
Interesting. Now, I have to plug in here that I had the opportunity to do one yoga session, an introduction with Stephen, and it was absolutely life-changing. The first session, maybe it sounds a bit too much, but it was mind-blowing. The results I got from just doing that, those like on the spot, that really blew my mind in terms of the sweat that came with just being at that one place. It's really amazing what you do.
Yeah. And for me, I started yoga on July 1st, 2013. And I think I've only missed about 12 or 13 days since then. I'm currently at about a 295-day stretch. And it is life-changing. But it's not just the physical benefits. It's the emotional and spiritual benefits of discipline and of exercise that can change all areas of your life.
So how does that make you feel? What are the feelings that go along with it then?
Practicing the yoga every day makes me feel more balanced, more centered. I'm a better coworker. I'm in a better mood. I'm more conscientious of how I interact with my children and my wife. Spending time on myself and learning to pay attention to my body in the flows and in the poses helps me pay attention to everything outside of me as well to a greater extent.
So why would you suggest that someone else adopts such a habit?
Like I said, and as you yourself said, it's life changing. DDP yoga is different than any other yoga on the planet. You get cardio, you get physical, and through the two of those, you actually get the mental and the spiritual, even though it's not intended in that style of yoga. The other thing is that by adapting this, when your body gets stronger and healthier, it's easier to make other changes. The easiest changes you can make are physically. Small changes to your diet, small changes to daily exercise. I'm working with a client right now that's starting with 10 minutes a day of yoga. All they're doing is 10 minutes a day, but that 10 minutes a day is they've established a pattern for almost 2 months now. And through the 10 minutes a day in yoga, they're now trying to make other changes. The other is when the body is healthy and the body is well, it's easier for them to dream bigger dreams and for the mind to be disciplined to work towards achieving them.
Agreed and understood. I'd like to know, my friend, what is your earliest childhood memory?
One of my earliest childhood memories is hockey, playing hockey, and a specific game. I don't know when the game was. I figure I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I wasn't the best player. I was big for my age, and I was tough. So I was more of a what they would now call in hockey goons. I was an enforcer. But there was a particular game where I played really well, and coming out of the game, head into the car, my dad was talking to me about it, and he was saying how all the other parents were wondering if it was a different player wearing that jersey this week and how well I had played. And I don't even think I scored a goal. I don't even know if I got an assist, but I remember how happy I was that he was proud of me and that other people were talking about my performance increases on the ice.
Interesting. Why do you think that memory is so vividly clear?
I think part of it is it was one of the first times I really remember knowing that my dad was proud of me. And to be honest, my dad was an amazing hockey player. He had played in the at the time the Atlantic Hockey League, so one level below the NHL, and he had left that to join the military because the military was higher salary. And I can remember playing father-son games where my dad could skate around every player on the ice and skate from end to end and score a goal. And so him being proud of me on the ice and my performance, it was memorable because of that.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. I'd like to know, so this is a place where we go into yes or no. Simple questions, yeah? So have you chosen someone to teach your skills and or talents to?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Your favorite song when you were 12 years old?
Probably Kisses Shouted Out Loud.
Sweet. Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than part A, 3 hours a day, or part B, 3 hours a week?
I probably actually sit and watch TV where I'm watching it about 3 hours a week. I usually watch a hockey game for Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday nights.
Interesting. In closing, my friend, is there anything you would like to share to the listening audience?
I would say that anything in life is possible. I am doing stuff now that I couldn't imagine having done in my 30s or 20s. And it all starts with small changes, little daily habits, daily incremental changes, daily disciplines. And part of it is learning what you want and what your dreams are. And in my mid-40s, even now, I'm learning to dream again and working on a personal mission statement so that looking back 20 years from now, I'll say, I accomplished those things that I dreamed of in my 40s that I didn't think I could do in my 20s.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing. So You've had it here with Stephen, and we are on 12-minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.